Hi, it's guitarist Mingsu here, saying hello to you from my studio in Beijing. And I would like to talk about how COVID has impacted my life being an international touring artist and how I'm dealing with it. I'm going to start with the incredible vacation I had in Japan during Christmas. Now think about that. What a wonderful time. I really miss traveling a lot. My life before COVID was a typical touring musician's life. I was always flying, always on the plane. I kept a busy touring schedule around the world. In the meantime, I was teaching in Hong Kong that I would go twice a month from wherever I was playing, many times being from the US. I especially enjoy long haul traveling. I like airplanes. It's great for a touring musician if you like traveling. I mean, that's part of the job. I played my last concert of 2019 in Glasgow in mid-November, and I was teaching, giving master classes, and finished my 2019 with a wonderful vacation in Japan. Now comes 2020. I spent the whole January preparing for the upcoming tour I had in the US. So I was under a lot of stress because I knew I had 3 to 4 different programs, including a 10-city tour in February with my duo partner Yameng Wang of the Beijing Guitar Duo. And I had the Concerto de Aranjuez with Evansville Philharmonic, and I have a solo recital tour in the US. The end of January, I flown back to my place in Baltimore and started touring with Yameng. Luckily, we finished all the concerts that were scheduled. So we did play quite a bit in the beginning of the year. In the end of February, I played Rodrigo's Concerto de Aranjuez with Evansville Philharmonic. It was great. It was a full house of people. It's just a wonderful experience playing with the orchestra. Beginning of March, I did a residency for the Baltimore Classical Guitar Society, which I visited a couple of schools from elementary school to University of Maryland, Baltimore County, UMBC. I gave classes, I played demonstrations to young kids. I actually did a concert with the Barreto Studio Ensemble, and Sergio Assad came to conduct his guitar ensemble piece with some other guitar ensembles in Maryland. And that was the last live concert I played for the season. Mid of March, news started to come in and things were getting worse in the country. All my things, my solo recitals and the duo concert in GFA, they were all canceled one by one. Eventually, my whole 2020 season got canceled. So in July, I decided to fly to Beijing, going to get ready for the new semester in Hong Kong that I could just commute from here. This is a good time to recharge for me as a musician and as a person, because I was always running around and playing concerts. It's always output. But this is a good time to absorb new things and to learn new things. So I did learn a couple of new concertos, and I'm trying to put together a couple of new programs, a solo program and a duo program. We were going to record a new duo CD, finishing up the arrangements. It's going to be a French recording, French music, Debussy, Ravel, and Forte. I'm preparing some new videos that, for example, for this one, for the CG West, and for the concert in November for the Thai Order Guitar Society. It will be a live recorded concert. It will be streamed online. It's been a very surreal experience for me, being busy and all of a sudden everything kind of paused. But I've learned to enjoy the time being in quiet mode. On a side note, I finally learned how to swim. So that's good news for me, because that's on my New Year's resolution for probably the last 10 years. I'm trying to watch more movies and read more, and in general just get used to this kind of a slower life pace. So post-COVID, I have a lot of plans. I will travel a lot. I look forward to that. I will take a lot of airplanes, take a lot of flights to the weirdest place on earth, just as a, revenge. I'm gonna revenge travel. I will play a lot of live concerts, and I will meet my friends. I will meet new friends. I'm just thinking very positive, always with hope. I guess the most important thing that this whole experience has taught me is to realize the power of music. I mean, as a musician, I'm extremely lucky to have something that I can hold on to. That I play music, and it's kind of a very soothing and meditating thing for me because I'm focused, I'm concentrated. So if I may share with you, I encourage you to listen to music and to support live concerts when this thing is finished and everybody can get together. There's nothing better than live music, live concerts. So I really hope post-COVID we will go to concert halls and support our musicians of any instrument, any style. Just go listen to live music. And in the meantime, enjoy the power of music.
Very good. And welcome to Scott Cmiel to our
Wow.
conversation here. Scott's with
Yeah.
the Sacramento Conservatory.
Fantastic. And Scott, I know you were awarded. I saw a video about your award, so congratulations on that. I know we've never met, but yes.
Well, thank you, Ruby. Life is a little crazy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Hi, Scott.
Great to see you, Daniel.
Hello, Scott. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward to hearing Meng Su.
She's coming up about 50.
And yeah, that was good. So obviously your touring is completely at a standstill now. What are you anticipating might be your first re-engagement, or is that just totally speculation?
I think next year. Yeah. It's pretty clear to me that this year is going to be just teaching and learning new rep.
Yeah, not exactly the vacation that everyone's hoping for. Okay, I'm going to pretty much turn it over to anyone who would like to ask any questions of Meng. Larry, you.
I'd like to hear from Chris if she's still with us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, how is this affecting your management for people like Ming? You just have to wait it out, you say, or?
Yes, that's mainly what we're doing. I'm not hearing a lot from our artists. I know they're very busy teaching online and probably studying new literature, maybe recording. But I have pretty serious concerns about what it's going to be for international artists who need visas to tour again, just because the visa prices have gone up so much. Right at the beginning of COVID, visas were being denied, which we had not seen before in our agency. So I'm concerned that, especially if there's a Trump presidency, how hard it's going to be for international artists to get those visas, to be able to afford the visas. But I hope my hopes are unfounded and that they are very successful touring again.
Yeah, I heard that too. The visa, it was getting more difficult to get approved in the first place,
Yes.
and then the fees went higher up. And with the COVID situation, I mean, for example, the city I am in right now, Beijing, it's 0 new cases, and the concert halls are back to 70% capacity. So people are going into the concert halls. But the thing is, international artists cannot fly in. or they can, but they need a 2-week quarantine. And who's going to do that? Because it's, you know, when you go back, you probably need another 2 weeks. So that's a problem. And I think that's a challenge for all the concert presenters, orchestras. I see that they, on their season brochure, they have the second, so next year, from January to probably July, they have scheduled international artists. But I don't know if that's going to, you know, come true or come alive. So that's something we need to, you know, keep watch, you know. But I do hope, I really miss international traveling, and I think that's one of the most wonderful things about music, is that music connects people from different backgrounds, different countries, different cultures. But I'm just really sorry to see everything is kind of, how do I say it? Everything's kind of went back from 2 years ago, and it's like before airplane, probably.
I have a suggestion that is optimistic, and for all of us, and particularly for you, Meng, to not wait until post-COVID to perform. Before you arrived, I had mentioned Group Muse, and I believe David's attended a few Group Muse. That is international artists getting on the internet and performing live for audiences that are arranged through Group Muse, and they're paid well, and it's access to the arts, and is performing. Everybody wins. There's no losers. So if you think of the previous era, pre-COVID, as a box, we need to think outside the box. And when I was a kid, there were drive-in theaters where you would drive in, and actually drive-ins are coming back in as an alternative to getting into a theater. People arrive with their cars, they look at this massive outdoor screen. So picture this. You and the presenters that present you offer a platform for live interaction with the artist, and it's a live here and now experience. The only thing that is missing is the same location, physical 3D format. It's 2D, but you do what we're doing now, which is we're here and now. We're talking to one another, and it's live. This is a moment. The moment passes. That's what you get in a theatrical performance.
Yes,
So-
yes, I agree. Yeah.
This is
It looks
COVID.
like everybody's trying to do that. Concert presenters, they want to do live online concerts and live recorded concerts. So I think it's good. It's a good way to convey the music to people. And the best thing about it is that audience from all over the world now can enjoy the same
Yes.
moment.
Lemonade from lemons is the
Yeah.
expression.
Yeah,
And it's
so that's really a good motivation for us, for the musicians, to think more innovatively, to make videos or to make some other social media or online interactions with our audiences.
Now, the biggest challenge for the artist, the trained musician, is the technical. So before you arrived this morning, I mentioned we'd done a couple of duo concerts here from my studio, and it involves streaming to YouTube, live streaming, plus the Zoom portion, which included the social component, where, like we are this morning, there's a group of us, we're all seeing each other and speaking with one another, and that's recreates the theater experience of the coming into the lobby, going to the hall, sitting next to one another. And then after the YouTube live stream, we returned to Zoom, and there was Meet the Artist and questions and answers. It was wonderfully rewarding on all sides. It felt so good. I fear post-COVID that the audience demographic, which in classical music tends older, will be reluctant, particularly if if the vaccine doesn't arrive or isn't spread, and there's just any hint of danger, the elderly or vulnerable population will be reluctant to get shoulder to shoulder to shoulder in a closed environment and watch a show. However, the theater halls can still be used because they have excellent acoustics and it can be streamed, and then maybe it can be a small audience, but it's streamed, and that gives access around the world globally at any time of day or night. There's no limit.
Yeah, that's
In other
that's
words,
what, yeah. As you said, that's lemonade from lemon. Yeah.
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 One thing that I've experienced as part of this is that we're no longer geographically constrained. The group muse is something, but I've been very active in a regular Sunday afternoon guitar event hosted by a fella in Toronto and co-hosted by a woman in Glasgow. I've gotten re-involved with the American Guitar Society in Los Angeles area. I've been involved with another group in Clearwater, Florida, and those are all things that which a year ago I wouldn't have even considered thinking about, and no one would have considered extending anything. So that definitely is something that I'm hoping we'll be able to sustain some sort of a hybrid existence on things, and the geographic constraints won't necessarily all come back. I would like to see a lot of it go away, but let's make sure that the things that have come good of all this, working from home for a lot of us. I've been working from home since mid-March. Those sort of things can continue on once all the rest of the nonsense is over with.
And here's another part, that the expense of travel and lodging is gone. So the artists can charge a lower fee so that a small guitar society could give them a fee, but not have to put them up at a hotel and pay for their travel. And then so it works both ways. And now we can access Ming Su and great touring artists who are not touring, but are broadcasting from home.
Yeah, we were talking in an earlier module about the Austin Classical Guitar Organization, and they had Pepe Romero do their kickoff concert for the season, and we were able to sit there and virtually have front row seats like all of us have now. It's the equivalent of being 6 or 8 feet away from him as he's performing.
I think it's wonderful to eliminate out of lemons, as we said, but as Ming said, we cannot forget that live performance is something we all want to get back to. Unfortunately, we do have restrictions on travel now, no matter who the president is, due to the health situation. One of the challenges, I think, is transitioning an online audience to a paying audience online. I've been even hesitant myself to pay for a concert online, but as Zoom improves, we have a Zoom Pro account now, so we're going to do some live events and concerts like this with the Sierra Nevada Guitar Festival and SFA Festival. But we need to constantly improve working with the technology so people will want to actually pay something to help pay the artists.
I would encourage you to look at and perhaps emulate the Group Muse model, which is a $3 registration and a suggested minimum donation of $10, although the artist can request a higher. And as I mentioned earlier, we grossed 1,000, just over 1,000 for our June concert, and something $636 for our September concert.
So Daniel, what would be, would you think it would be more advantageous for us to use Group Muse or present it ourselves on Facebook?
I'd say go Group Muse because they're already set up. They have a enormous database, and they have the technology, and they have all the links, the tutorials, any help files. Just looking at groupmuse.com. And
We'll look.
Meng, why not hop up on Group Muse yourself and and present one of their high tier concerts.
I'll check it out. I haven't heard of that, but I do know there's a Melbourne Guitar Society. They're doing kind of a similar things, probably using different platform, but they are charging fees on live music, live concerts, and it's been working really well. I have friends that played for them, and the pay was good. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah. As I mentioned again earlier today, Zoom announced on Thursday that they are getting a monetized sub program rolled out where performers will be able to charge admission of whatever amount to attend a meeting. Whereas Zoom has been free for everyone the whole time, now they're going to be able to have the option to monetize if you wish. If you want to do it for free, that's fine, but they'll now have the equivalent of ticketed events.
David, can you make a note to share the link to that information at some point, either chat here or email the group?
Okay, yeah, it's it just came out on I'm sure I can find it.
Also, David, is Scott Cmiel still with us? We'd love to hear any comments you can have with Ming.
I think, Scott, you here?
Unmute yourself, Scott.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I'm here. But I didn't quite hear the last thing Larry said.
Oh, I just asked David, we'd love to hear any conversation you can have with Ming since we have you both online.
We've got to
Regarding
talk about movies sometimes, Ming.
Pardon?
We have to talk about movies sometime. I'm very curious to exchange like what you're watching. No, it's just a delight to hear the conversation. I really appreciate Classical Gala West for putting this out there. It's just such great information. Yeah. The group muse thing, Daniel, I'm not surprised. You're like, always on top of this sort of stuff, and I appreciate it. I'm going to look into it too. So I don't really have anything to add. And actually, to tell you the truth, I'm thinking about the fact that I've left a whole bunch of classes in San Francisco that I should get back to. So I'm gonna leave right now.
Just quick, Scott, from you and me, let's have a couple movie recommendations.
For movie recommendations?
Just quick.
I started to watch thrillers. So I finally got the Gone Girl last night. So
The Witch Girls?
Gone Girl.
Tell me about it. What is it?
It's Ben Affleck and something that his wife disappeared, and I'm sure some of you have seen it. And it's a great thriller.
Okay, that sounds great. Okay, I've got one for you. This is like an indie movie. But I'm recommending it to you or asking your opinion about it because it's set in China. It's called Farewell, and it follows a Chinese American family who learns that their grandmother in Beijing has a short time to live. And then they decide, anyway, it's a really complicated human interest story, but I'd be curious if you see it, let me know. I'd be curious what you think about it. Farewell. By Lula Wang, the pop star Aquafina, and Zhao Shuzhen. And that's all I can tell you.
Okay. Make note of that.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Scott.
Great to see you,
Good to
Scott.
see you.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks for joining us.
Ming has a wonderful 15-minute premiere coming up. Maybe we could run that now and still have time for a little bit of chat afterward.
Sure thing.
Sounds good.
And Ming, there you are. The screens move around too much. Can you tell us a little bit about the program while I'm getting it queued up?
Okay, so I'm going to play the Tarantella by Mario Castanova Tedesco and 3 pieces from Cinco Piezas by Astor Piazzolla.
Okay, let me just get this queued up here and we'll be good to go. Sounds
Wonderful.
very good.
Performance for us.
Thanks, Larry.
Daniel, what have you got to say?
I was happy the entire time. I was just happy because it's such a pleasure to listen to that. I have to thank you for making that happen. And again, lemons into lemonade. See, yeah, don't you agree, Ruby, Chris? You know, we were all in our separate homes, socially distanced, absolute safe, no mask required. And we got to hear Meng play this phenomenal program that, as short as it was, I said, I'm happy. So we're all just elated, you know, to have that access to super high level playing. Congratulations, Meng.
Thank you.
I'm curious, Meng, what was the basis for your choice of those 4 selections out of the thousands of other pieces possible?
It just first of all, it was on my program, and I just felt that Piazzolla has always had that touch to me, and especially in this this certain time, I feel that it connects more to people's feelings, and it's actually very positive. You know, thinking all the miseries Argentina went through and the tango's history, but it's always positive, and I think there's a lot of energy in there. And the Tedesco Tarantella, it's a really upbeat piece. So I wanted to throw something in here which is very, very positive and make you, you know, have a wonderful day.
No, very, very much so. Larry, go ahead.
Well, I love the Tarantella. I wonder if Ming has any tips for us getting a piece like that up to speed. Is it just the same old thing? Practice slow at first till you get it up to speed?
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it took me, well, I can play it, you know, I can learn it pretty quickly, but to have it very polished and have it under that kind of tempo, and you can still do many details, do the dynamics, the very subtle changes, that took probably 2-3 months for me to do. So yeah, practice very slowly.
So Chris, Siad, are you still with us? Do you have any comments?
I agree.
Yeah,
It's,
still here.
it's great to see performers even like this up close, and yeah, it's still very powerful, definitely.
I wish that Zoom had a better sound quality. I hear it's definitely flattened some of the dynamics and the sound, the tone. I couldn't hear it really well from my side, but it's better than nothing. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What guitar are you playing?
It's Matthias Dahmen,
Okay.
2009.
The double top, yeah.
Yeah.
and this is why in Group Muse we went to live stream and Zoom, because there's from Zoom where we entered, and then YouTube live stream had higher quality live streaming, so the sound audio. So the Zoom is fine for conversation, not so much for audio. So the YouTube live stream will be better audio quality. And
Well,
by the way, we could hear the dynamic changes and appreciate it fine.
Fortunately, overall, we will upload the full performance on YouTube with better quality at some
Okay.
few days.
Okay, well, I think that pretty much brings us around here, and I want to thank Siad and Ruby and Meng for their major contribution, and Chris and Daniel and Larry, of course, for pulling it all together. And yeah, this has been a fun event. We will have, I'm going to stop the YouTube stream in a moment. Then we're going to have to do some editing stuff and backfill stuff and all those other things. So,
Just real quick, David, the sponsors are?
Larry?
The primary sponsor for this event, and that's what I wanted to mention, I need to thank City of Reno Arts and Culture Division and Megan Berner there. This event was made possible in part by a City of Reno CARES grant. Without it, we couldn't have done this. So thank you, City of Reno.
Even though you live in California.
I live in Reno.
Oh, okay. I thought you lived up in Tahoe.
I lived in Tahoe. Well, that doesn't matter.
All right.
Tahoe, they're close by.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. It's been just a joy to participate this morning and to meet you, Siad and Ruby and Chris and David. Larry, thank you again. I enjoyed.
We thank
much.
David for doing most of the work putting this together on Zoom.
Elbow grease.
Yeah, it's had its challenges, certainly. But yeah, it's a good platform. And again, as we've said, this is something that a year ago we would never even have imagined doing something like this. And I would imagine that going forward, as technology continues to improve, we're going to see more of this. I hope we see more of this. And it's great for convenience and accessibility and everything else. So with no further ado, I thank you very much for your time, and I return you to your regularly scheduled Saturday.
you.